Hello everyone, this is your Figure Break, and today on your break, I'll be reviewing the Nendoroid Ruler Jeanne. So sit back, relax, enjoy your break. Okay, so Nendoroid Ruler Jeanne. Very, very nice Nendoroid. The sculpting on this Nendoroid is surprisingly well done, especially for a Nendoroid, considering that, it's so tiny. There's still very nice details in terms of the sculpting on it. Also, the paint job is really well done. I'm usually afraid when it ever comes to stuff that is silvery and metallic-like, especially when they try to, do this knight in shining armor, because usually they don't make it shiny enough. But they did a really, really nice silver, not making it too shiny and taking away from the figure, just that perfect balance of shiny to kind of practicality at the same time, that's for sure. As for the sculpt on this figure, very surprising amount of detailed sculpt on this Nendoroid, especially for such, it's a Nendoroid, it's super small, so you wouldn't think they would have space to really put in details in. No, they put in the very proper amount of details, especially for a Nendoroid, and to really show that this was Jeanne. For example, the ornateness on the hilt of the sword, very nicely done, very, very crisp, surprisingly. Also her blouse, and also just the armor in general, is very detailed. You can tell that this is very much layered armor and plates, and even the cloth on her blouse is very nicely layered. It's very surprisingly the amount of detail for a Nendoroid for sure. Now, the other thing that I want to point out is the little crosses on her skirt. They are a little bit blobby, but the fact that they still try to include something that small and that detailed into the Nendoroid is very surprising, because it's very prominent for Jeanne, so you'd really almost I would almost feel like you'd have to include those things. And if they weren't there, it wouldn't really be Jeanne in my opinion. So I'm really glad that they decided to keep those in there, despite the fact that they may have known to have been blobby. Now, this is the one thing in terms of the sculpting and the uniqueness of this Nendoroid, is her ponytail. Now, before I get into more details of the ponytail, if you notice now, there is a little bit extra part of the stand that helps you with the ponytail, and that is this part that kind of goes up and goes into her back. Now, the reason why for that is the ponytail is actually posable, which, as you can tell, this little part right here just gets put onto the stand like so, just like any regular, Nendoroid stand, and you can tell with the ponytail that it turns. It's completely posable. Same thing with the very tip of the ponytail. It turns, it's posable, so you can show it going different ways in the wind. You can show it going both ways on both sides of her. It's very surprising. That's what makes this Nendoroid, I think, really unique in comparison to other ones. I don't know of another Nendoroid off the top of my head that has that kind of posability with the ponytail. And also the sculpting of the ponytail is really, really nice. In fact, even little bow is really nicely detailed. It's not blobby whatsoever, so they definitely did some work into the ponytail of this character, because that's kind of one of the main features of Jeanne too. She has this very long braided ponytail. Now, in addition to her ponytail being very articulative, it's also her arms are very articulative. Now, they can bend at the elbow, like so. They can bend like that, and then also her wrists can rotate, so you can turn them, and then also at the shoulder joint they rotate also. So again, very articulative, kind of like a Figma, which is pretty nice, I have to admit, for a Nendoroid sometimes, because then you don't have to get like 50 arms just to do different poses, and you can make them like that, so then there's more room for accessories. Now, unfortunately, her legs aren't articulative. She either comes with straight legs, and then she came with one bent leg, and that's all you get in terms of leg accessories. So, at the same time, I kind of wish that, okay, yes, the arms are articulative, but then why couldn't you put more legs in if that's the case, because then you have more space in the box to put those legs in. But, is what it is. Alright, so like with any Nendoroid, there's got to be accessories. Can't go lacking on the accessories, that's for sure. And she comes with 3 faceplates. She comes with the regular kind of like plain smiling faceplate. That's the one that I have her in right now. Very, very pretty. It's a pretty nice smiling faceplate. definitely, you know, it's pretty regular, but at the same time, it shows that it is Jeanne d'Arc for sure. And then she comes with 2 extra faceplates, and that is a battle cry faceplate. Looks like she's like giving out this, you know, screaming battle cry yell. Very, very awesome, you know, nice little faceplate. And then she comes with kind of this very cute, kind of flattered, you just paid me a compliment kind of faceplate. It's so cute. I love this faceplate. Very unique for Jeanne d'Arc and very unique for this Nendoroid, that's for sure. Now, in addition to her faceplate, she comes with a few object accessories, and those are a full-fledged sword. She comes with a full sword. Now, she also, if you look at right now on her scabbard, it looks like the sword is in there. No, that part actually comes off, so when she's holding her sword, it looks like the sword was drawn from her scabbard. Now, in addition to the swords, she also comes, and of course, very prominent of Jeanne d'Arc, her flag. She comes with her full flag flying. It's so freaking cool. I'm so glad that they included this in the Nendoroid, because I feel like if they didn't have this with Jeanne, it would be really, really strange. And then, of course, she also comes with the flag actually wrapped up, so when she uses it as a spear, you can pose her with, you know, the closed flag too, which is really, really nice. Okay, so in addition to her object accessories, it comes with a few body part accessories too. And that is, of course, the bent leg that I told you about that she comes with. And then she also comes with a, you know, gripping hand for her left and a gripping hand for her right. They come, you know, together so she can hold both her flag and her sword in the other hand. And then she comes with this kind of pointing at herself, kind of scratching her face kind of hand, which is meant for the pose of when she's, you know, like blushing and shy because you paid her a compliment. Speaking of poses, let's pose her and let's have some fun with the Nendoroid. Alright, so this is her, you know, little cute flattering pose, and I love this pose. It's such a unique pose for this Nendoroid. I absolutely love it. She's so freaking cute of how her blush is and how like the ponytail is and how she scratched her face like, oh wow, you paid me a compliment. That's very nice of you. It's really, really nice little kind of pose that you can do with her. So the pose I have her in right now is just with her default faceplate, and she kind of has this, you know, I'm very confident to fulfill this order that my master just gave me. It's a really, really nice little pose that you can also do with Jeanne. This is a pose of her kind of dealing a blow to an enemy while shouting out a battle cry. It's really, really freaking cool. That's what I really like about this Nendoroid, is that they kind of put some like cutesy parts, kind of like what a Nendoroid is, but at the same time putting in some cool parts too, and that's what I really, really like. So I'm really glad that they, you know, put in the screaming faceplate, because then you can do these like really, really cool battle poses and whatnot with her. Alright, so here it is, the most famous pose of them all for Jeanne d'Arc. Her planting the flag into the ground, flying it with full colors showing. Ah, it's such a cool pose. I love this pose so, so much. I will always probably keep this pose in this Nendoroid. It's such prominent of Jeanne, that's for sure. And of course her sword is drawn out of her scabbard, claiming that she has won the battle. Now, the only thing that I will say about this pose, and it's kind of hard to, is since her joints are articulative and the flag is so heavy, it does have a tendency to kind of fall over. So one trick that I kind of did that I found out is that if you stick the bottom of the flag into the little hole of the stand, you can kind of keep it standing all the time. You don't have to worry about it flopping over and whatnot. So that's kind of one little flaw about this, trying to do this pose, but it's achievable, which is good. So as for a rating of this Nendoroid, I'm gonna give it an 8. The posability of the ponytail is nice, the posability of the arms is nice, and the fact that you get, you know, 2 flags and the 2 swords to make sure that you're pretty accurate with the 2 swords of them being, you know, sheathed and unsheathed. The fact that you have the posability of all those things, you then can't make enough space to put in more leg stuff. Like, you only get 1 bent leg and then 2 straight legs. That's all you get. I kind of wish you could get more with this Nendoroid, because it's a really, really nice Nendoroid with the painting and the fact that they just lacked on the accessories, especially with leg accessories of all things. It's kind of upsetting. I kind of wish that they had more, because this is a really nice Nendoroid. They just had to put in more accessories. Overall, though, still really, really happy with it. Really glad. Again, it's that perfect balance of, you know, awesome yet cute at the same time. So I'm really, really glad that I have it in my collection now. And oh gosh, I love this Nendoroid now. Alright everyone, that is my review of the Nendo Ruler Jeanne d'Arc. I really hope that you enjoyed the review, and I really hope you enjoyed your break too. I'll see you in the next video.